Before I start, let me introduce myself. I have around 14 years of experience and I'm working in a corporate and in AI/ML domain since 8 years. And I'm working as a GenAI solution architect and more into the backend side. And I have done my MBA from IIT Delhi, and then I started picking up these management roles as well as some of the project roles. So this is my introductions. So let's not wait for the time and let me just share my screen and let me just walk you through the fast API. I hope my screen is visible. Just text it in a message box so that I'll have a visibility that whether you can see my screen or not. Okay. So hope my screen is visible. Let me make it a large. Okay. So the session that I'm talking about is again this is the fast API. Okay. So in the fast API, can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay. So let me share my screen. So the session is again for the fast API. So I was just talking about this, uh, how you can use this fast API and what is this fast API. So fast API is again, it's a backend service, so to say. And for example, if you have some of the front end applications and you want your front end application to have some data coming from the backend. So again, you require, one of the services to fetch the data from the back end to front end. Or let's say, for example, if you're working in any of the AI industry and you have to create some of the APIs because the machine learning logics, whatever you are writing, their output must be in the UI form. So you need to have some kind of APIs. Okay. For that, you need this fast API. Okay. So now coming to this fast API, so how we can create this, this production grade. And again, as I'm talking about this, is more of a SaaS, software development, as a service. So we have a lot of, you can say, uh, the applications which are built on top of this fast API only. Also, we will discuss this async performance, scalable architecture is there also. But again, for this fast API, we have, some of the architectures, some of the documentations, and also fast API has this, some of the AI powered intelligence. We can use it and has some secure by design. Okay. So we are talking about the production grade application. So be it in your software industry or AI industry, even if you're data engineer, data scientist, okay, front end developer, okay.
Hello,
Yeah,
hello, sir.
yeah. Do you have any question? Hello. Any questions, Guru? Okay, let me share my screen. Uh, Stop sharing.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Can you come again? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any question?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Just if you have any question, unmute or you can type in. Okay. I'll answer. No issues. Okay. So this is the background of Fast API. Why I was just explaining this Fast API. Because again, even if you are from the let's say UI developer, or so to say, like if you work in a backend, right, in Python or some other, you can say, the programming language, or maybe if you are from AI industry, okay. But from any industry, now this fast API is mandatory, and you'll see in the even in the job descriptions they talk about the API integrations, APIs, API integrations, right? So again, then without this backend service, you won't be able to survive in the industry. So this backend service is very much important for any of the roles that you're trying to aspire for, right? So now let me go to my second slide. Can you skip? So it's not moving, just allow us. Yeah. So again, if you are, let's say, backend developers, then again, it's like I, special program for you that you can also use this Python skills to, understand this fast API and create some of the good backend, or you can say the some of the APIs endpoint to become a full stack developers. Again, this is something that people miss. They know the front end applications. Even if they are AI ML engineer, they know every single logics. Even data scientist, even a data analyst might be knowing every single bits and pieces in their own domain, but when it comes to create some of the APIs, work on the APIs, they struggle. And the industry demands more into this API development only. So to become a full stack developers, you must have to have this understanding of this fast API at least. And also for the DevOps engineers, because they have to deploy these things, the API is only again in the production grade. For the AI ML engineer, you might have seen this, this AI models to be integrated in LLMs. If you don't know this backend, even the fast API, you will struggle. And if you want to become an architect also, you must have understanding of this, the fast API at least, the API development, because a lot of percentage of this architect work on this API only, directly or indirectly. Okay. So why you should attend again? Because for this program again, uh, the fast API is fast again, as the name suggests, but again intuitive and built for the futures, because their documentations are there. You'll see a lot of documentations are there once you create API, and you'll have a lot of to understand that there is some interface. Uh, you can have the interactions with, and you can also tweak in the data. I can see whether my API is working or not. Second one is again we have some this real world scalable application. So if you want your applications from uh, development environment to the production grade, you have something in a prototype and you want to build in a production grade system. So again, this fast API will help you to the scale your applications in the production grade, because if something happens with your applications, you can check only the APIs, whether my APIs are working or not looking at the entire, the applications. And it will also help you to debug, because if you only work on those API, let's say your applications has 10 APIs, and when from user login to consumption of your LLMs, let's say if you're working on a chatbot, so possibly if you have, let's say, 10 uh, endpoints created in a fast API. So you can check whether my APIs are working or not. If you are sure that my APIs are working, it means your entire application is working at least. Okay. And also AI ready by design, because easily you can integrate LLMs with fast APIs. If you have something, the Google Gemini's or any other, let's say GPT-4 or API, any of the, LLMs that you have, that through their keys you can integrate this fast API and a production grade based practices. So security is there. It's more secure. You can observe and also you can deploy. So I mean, the you can say the LLM ops part can be taken care by. And there is also, once you know this, this fast API, I think 90% I would say in any domain, if you work, let's say, even if you're a software engineer, AI/ML engineer, data scientist, machine learning engineer, architect, LLM, full stack LLM developer, or anything that you want to aspire or you are in the current role. So this will help you in career boostings, because if you see in the hiring, the hidden talent is this API development. It is like in a single sentence they write, but they carry weightage of 70% in the real world applications. So day to day, if you know this APIs development, and it's a kind of, if you spare, let's say, 5 weeks with me, then you would be, easily scalable in any industry, and you will be, kind of feel free in any of the project that you will be tagged in. Okay. So, I mean, these are the advantages of, attending this course, and again, this piece of skill set. So we have this 4 weeks roadmap. Again, from, the first week, I'll try to, gives more stress on the foundations and the architecture of this fast API, and also few labs, so that it will be set that how you can use it, and a lot of use cases, because I come from an industry, so I know what kind of use cases are being you can say being created and being solved at enterprise level. So, I mean, if you know the architecture of this fast API, the foundations, you will be good to go. Second week is asynchronous engine and intelligence. So again, how, let's say sometime your APIs gets blocked. So how we can work on this non-blocking backend so it doesn't block, and something called asynchronous and synchronous. So asynchronous is something that works in a parallel. For example, if a lot of APIs are being hit, so I mean, you have to let your APIs to work parallelly, so that applications latency doesn't hamper. Okay. So I mean, these are the few things that will set the context and will make you confident to take up any project. Because if you are very good in the backend development, you will be good in every single thing, I would say, because other things are like, it takes a couple of days to understand. If even if you are new concepts, you can pick up within a days, or maybe 15 to 20 days possibly. But if you don't know the fast API, you may struggle a lot in any of the project. So in the week 3, we'll have a data insecurity and this fortress. So again, because of a lot of applications are built, if you uh, observe, there are a lot of data platforms. So there are also Snowflake, there are also Azure back data platform, AWS back data platform, right? So datas are there. Now, the organizations want that data to be consumed in the front end. So again, for that to connect, those data from backend, from the database to user screen, so to say, at a high level, you need some of the APIs to be triggered. And who will create the APIs? Again, the backend developer. If you know the fast API, you can quickly design this. You just need a bunch of the data, a pipeline to be built, and on top of that, you can create this fast API. If you have the solid understanding, it will take quick, a day time to create these APIs. Again, for week 4, this is most important, because if you're targeting to become a full stack developer, and the deployment part. So I will be teaching you that how to deploy it and in the production grade, and go to live. I mean, you will be working from end to end, and the deployment is something that is very challenging for the people, and even in the industry. So production grade systems. So I mean, how we are going to deploy, if you have the APIs, and once it is done, then I'll also show you that through DevOps, how we can deploy it. So again, the GitHub Actions, and through that will deploy it, the pull request and everything. So it covers the every aspects of the full stack. You can say LLM developer, so to say. I would say if you attend this course, you will be full stack developer. So yeah, this is the week 4. So we'll have maybe you can stretch to few more weeks, but again in week 4 we will be good to go, and I mean we can scale a lot. Yeah. Then foundation one I talked about is, the FastAPI advanced concept I will be talking about. Again, the middleware and if you have some exceptions handling, and also Pydentic too for data validation. So the data coming from the database. So I mean, the Pydentic will help you also to validate the data, and I'll also show you the product, the project structures in our VS Code. So how we typically create, this VS Code project structure if you are working on the back end. So again, it will help us also to understand and set the context in the week one, and we'll have a lot of the use cases so that you will be at ease to grasp any of the enterprise level tickets if you are working on. Second week, again, asynchronous engines design and Celery and Redis. This is more important one. And again, if you know this one, the asynchronous task, because the parallel executions are more important, and high speed message brokers. So this one is also important, and we'll also uh, you know, integrate our fast API with these LLMs. You can say here it is Google Gemini, but also we have a lot of other LLMs. And also you'll see that their insights, if you are integrating our fast API. So the task would be to build intelligent, non-blocking fast API backend. So again, this is the week two will set the, the context more to switch to more into this full stack LLM developer, I would say. Okay. So, I mean, these topics with what you see on a screen is something that is being, used majorly in the industry where people are more working on this kind of asynchronous task using this fast API because of the a lot of services and it's very quick and very fast. That is why people more rely on this fast API. Okay. Then week three, again, we have this SQL model and Postgres, will store data, maybe Azure or AWS. I will be showing you from there, if you have some data, how you can pull it and migrate and see those relationships. Also, we'll work on OAuth and JWT authentication also, and zero trust with bearer tokens and scopes, because once you have endpoint exposed, uh, there is something called, some people who may try to steal the, this, maybe try to manipulate your endpoint. So, I mean, that also creates a lot of problems. Okay. So we'll try to see that how we can create some, tokens where and define the scopes with zero trust. So putting those security layer on top of that so that nobody breach this API endpoint, nobody can intervene our API endpoint. So I mean the week three is I would say a kind of a put a layer if you are a data engineer, data scientist, so to say, because again you have to work on a fast API to ingest a data and to fetch the data from the database and to give it to the UI people who work on the front end. So I mean it will give you a 360-degree exposure, in the fast API, because this topic looks like a one topic, but a backbone of, I would say, AI industry. Okay. Now, week four, again, the deployment. So I will be explaining and taking a few labs for and a practical for Dockers and how we can use this Docker production grade environment we'll talk about, and a lot of use cases I will be discussing, and monitoring strategy also, because once your application is deployed, you have to monitor it, whether it is failing or any issues. So that can be tracked because this comes under, you can say, LLM ops, ML ops. So this is ops part. So you'll have a clarity that once our application is deployed, what sort of things are happening inside that Docker containers. And let's say if you are increasing the number of users, let's say 1 lakh users or 10,000 users, how our applications are being impacted, because a lot of people's accessing your applications at a one time, obviously a lot of loads, how it can channelize it. So I mean this again will help you the week four to close the loop of this full stack LLM developer, I would say, and it will set the context and it will be good to go in the industry. Okay. So again, what all I will be, handling the project. Okay. Real world architecture that we'll talk more, and industry grade tooling again. Again, this fast API, this course is designed for developers, and also will help you in resume boosters, and we'll have access to the GitHub repo. I'll create. I have a GitHub repo, and every single day we'll have these repos. You can pull in those repos, and practicals you can work. So this will help you a lot to explore 360 degree and have the maximum, you can say, the usage of this fast APIs. Okay. So again, let me show you another one of the applications, you can say, in this fast API. Okay. So let me share my screen. So one minute, allow me a second. So yeah, just give me a sec. So the applications is here I have built in, so no need to worry about. If you see these applications, so there's a fast API. Okay, let me go back. Fast API backup. Control C, and let me just do CD. Okay, go to code dot. So yes, uh, it will take me to this screen. So I have already created this small demonstration. Okay. So if you see this one, let me go and hit new terminal. Okay. So if you go here, there are a few Python scripts. So don't worry about the Python scripts here. So I will be explaining here. So we have another couple of 5-10 minutes. So these are the library: Fast API, Torch, Transformer, Accelerate, and Unicorn. These are the kind of to start the server you need Unicorn. And this fast API, the Python library, transformer that I have used for my applications LLM. So these are the requirement.txt. Okay. So typically, what we typically do, we do pip install -r, and then we say requirement.txt. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll see what is in the models.py. Okay. So this applications is trying to hit this tiny LLM. So because I have used this tiny LLM, and obviously they have some limitations to tiny LLM. But again, like a small chatbot I have created using fast API. So I'm saying how to set up a fast API project. Okay. This is a system prompt, and this is a device. Okay. This is a Python script, and also we can take it from any of the the AI tools to understand here. This is defining one of the methods that how we are using this. It's a text generations. The you can say the inferencing task is to text generations. We using the model is this llama 1, tiny llama, and have this data types float 16 and device is device, and it will return the pipe type response. Okay. Again, generate the text. This is we are defining it and setting the temperature prompt. The pipeline kind of a role is this kind of a role. Okay, so this is again a code, and it will generate the code. And we have something called main.py. If you go in the main.py, this is again our fast API. If you see, so this is you can say the APIs. Here the logics for the APIs are written. So typically how we invoke or how we initialize our fast API is app equal to fast API. Okay. And all these things these are the models. Where is my model? Model is here. Okay. Okay. It is importing load text model, generate text from here. Okay. So the both are connected here. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just write unicorn main reload. Okay. So it is saying unicorn main reload is not the path. So let's see what we have to write it. So this will help us also to debug it. Okay. So here I'll put in here the details and let's see what it is trying to give us. Okay. To run this unicorn, this is a server. Okay. So how we are going to reload the server so that our fast API is up and it starts working. Okay. So let's see what it is trying to say. So now they will give us some hint and then we'll set the context. Okay. So now what they are trying to say, they are saying use this one because it's the Python environment. Okay. So we will copy paste here and we'll use it. So it will start our the unicorn. Okay. So let's see if it is not opened anywhere. Okay. Let me check if it is opened anywhere or what. Shouldn't be opened anywhere. Okay. So here it is saying started loader. Let me just follow this one. If here you'll see this kind of details. Okay. So this will give you a endpoint. Okay, where we have these applications up and running. Okay. So this is how we can see that whether my applications is running or not. Okay. So once you type in and you say docs, this is a Swagger UI. Okay. So here you'll have some screens like this. Can you see this one, right? So this is our fast API and this is our endpoint, generate text. Okay. So if you go here, what I have written in the models.py, okay, in the main.py, if you see generate text and serve language model controller. So the same thing that they are saying, serve model controller slash generates. This is our endpoint, fast API endpoint. Okay. So once you go down here, once you click it, so you have these parameters. Okay. So I think there is some space issue. So let me just reload it. Okay. So yeah, so this is the prompt, let's say. Okay. So we'll say try it out. Okay. And then we'll say what is AI? Okay. Here. And we'll say execute. As it will take some time. Let's see. Okay. And then it will give us a response. So this is one of the API that I have created. Okay. And it will give us a response. So similarly, once you know that how to create an API, this is the simple one. And then you give this API endpoint to our front-end application developer, and he will integrate in the UI. Okay. So once you start working on the API, you'll have a lot of APIs on the screen. Okay. And you will have understanding of that how API can be built on top of how you can integrate your API with the LLMs, with the data sources. Okay, if you are able to do these two things seamlessly, you can declare yourself as a full stack LLM developer and even full stack software developer, full stack, data scientist, full stack ML engineer, full stack architect. Everything you can add in your resume is a full stack once you have a backend, if you know how to work on a backend. That's all. Okay. So again, this is very, very critical and very, very important course. Okay. So this is the response will come because again, because the model is very heavy. Okay. So this will generate a response. So this is again our fast API. Okay. And we are able to do that. Okay. Any questions, anything? Yeah, Sarath, any questions, Sarath? Okay, if you don't have any questions, we'll close the sessions. Okay. So again, if you want to join again, you can talk to GenML Tech, and then they'll guide you that how to do the next process. Okay, so thank you so much.